CBT News, celebrating 10 years of delivering the news and content automotive professionals count on. CBT News, 10 years strong. Subscribe today. Welcome to CBT News with Bridget Fitzpatrick.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBT News. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thank you so much for joining us today. Here's Chris Riggins with today's top stories.
Thanks, Bridget. Kicking off our coverage, after missing its sales targets in Q4 of 2022, Tesla has made surprising price cuts to some of its best-selling electric vehicles. The automaker reduced its Model 3 price by 6% and the Model Y price by 20%. Thanks to the drop, buyers of the Model Y crossover SUV will now be able to qualify for the Biden administration's $7,500 EV tax credit after it was initially denied for going over the maximum price limit of $55,000. Next up, Carvana's Michigan outlet has had its license suspended following a state probe and subsequent settlement. The dealership was investigated by regulators after they received reports from customers over paperwork violation in regards to their titles. Carvana voluntarily gave up its license as part of an agreement that would allow the company to reapply in 2026. However, buyers in Michigan are unlikely to experience any disruption since the company is technically classified as an e-commerce business and can still sell and deliver vehicles in the state even without a dealership. Skywell, a Chinese electric vehicle brand, will be making its way to the U.S. in the next 2 years thanks to a Michigan-based auto company. Lightborn Motor Corporation, formerly known as Imperium, hopes to bring 5,000 of the company's EVs to North America by the end of 2023. Chinese automakers have had a difficult time breaking into the U.S. market thanks to increasingly hostile trade relations between the two countries. Skywell's flagship model is called the ET5, which boasts roughly 323 miles of driving range and a $30,000 price tag. And lastly, EV newcomer Lucid managed to finish off 2022 strong by surpassing its production target of 7,000 units by 180. However, this number is just a third of its initial projection of 20,000, which was continually lowered throughout the year in response to supply constraints and shortages. Lucid has also yet to deliver a majority of its current stock. Despite nuances, the company's manufacturing arm nevertheless managed to make an impressive rebound in the final months of 2022, building over half of its 7,180 vehicles in Q4 alone. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next is Jonathan Smoke, the chief economist at Cox Automotive. We'll be right back.
Delivering the news dealers count on for 10 years. Subscribe today and join thousands of other automotive professionals. CBT News, 10 years strong.
As an industry, we've seen shifts in inventory, high prices, and electric vehicles throughout the past few years. So, can we expect more of the same in this new year? On today's show, we're joined once again by Jonathan Smoke, chief economist at Cox Automotive, to share more of Cox Automotive's 10 predictions for the auto industry. Take a look.
So by and large, it sounds like there could be a little bit of a rollback in terms of the SAR. But overall, it could also be a good profit year for dealers ahead, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look across the dealers' business, where we see the most challenge this year, I think is similarly going to be the story next year. Used retail is more difficult. That's where affordability, that's where lack of nearly new vehicles, just you're impacted on both the supply and demand side. On the new side, yes, we do believe inventories will build, but we're still not going to be at pre-pandemic levels of supply. That'll mean the pricing power, albeit not quite as attractive as the last couple of years, is still going to be good, and dealers are going to have more vehicles to sell, which means the new vehicle department's going to see growing revenues and strong profitability. As we talked about, fixed operations looks great. Yes, there's some challenges on the credit side, one of which consumers avoiding credit because of the level of interest rates. But all in all, I see this as an opportunity for dealers to continue to do as they have done for several years now, and that is roll with the punches and really outperform otherwise what the market gives them. And as many dealers tell me when I have direct calls with them, they're not afraid of forecasts coming from economists that suggest we've got challenges ahead, because it's often the dealers who are well positioned, well capitalized going into that kind of marketplace, understanding those dynamics, that actually can grow share, that can make acquisitions and do things that fundamentally make their companies even stronger for the foreseeable future. And I think this is going to be one of those kinds of years.
All right, be sure to watch this interview in its entirety right here at cbtnews.com. That wraps up our show for today, but we invite you to join us back here again tomorrow morning for all the latest news and trends impacting the retail automotive industry. And be sure to follow us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.
CBT News, your #1 resource for auto industry news and content. Join the #1 most watched newscast in the automotive industry. CBT News, 10 years strong. Subscribe today.